Okay, everybody, welcome to the Super Magic Show. I hope you're having a really great Sunday afternoon. It's actually 316 day. Oh, hell yeah. And we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Daima Season 2. I see some people filing into the chat right now. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you joining us here today. Dragon Ball Daima ended a couple weeks ago, and let's be honest, the ending left a lot more questions than it did give us answers. I did feel like the second half of the episode felt rushed, albeit they knew what they were going to do ahead of time. But afterward, I think a lot of people were wondering, well, what now? Like, what happens? What's going to happen to the demon realm? What's going to happen with Super Saiyan 4? What's going to happen to Neva? Is Majin Ku going to stay around? Like, is Goma really, going to be sealed away forever? A lot of unanswered questions, and right now, Dragon Ball is kind of like the Lil Wayne mixtapes. We're going through a drought, and because we don't know, and that's the unfortunate reality. Now, Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru and Chikasi Kubota, both of them were key animators in Dragon Ball Daima. They've been going around recently answering a lot of questions because they've been doing some convention circuits. And even they don't know. It seems like Akio Ioku, the producer of Dragon Ball, it seems like he always says, oh, we've got more coming. We've got 10 years worth of stories, what he said. We have a lot of material. But where is it? And so, as always, we are left in the dark. And it's unfortunate because we shouldn't be left in the dark. These companies should be telling us what their plan is. If, on one hand, the plan is we're going to stop everything now that Toriyama passed away and just end everything now out of respect for him, a lot of folks aren't going to be happy, but at least they're being honest and forward with us. Then on the other hand, if they say, well, we're going to have new chapters come out later this year, even if they don't give a date, new Super later this year, new Demon Realm story on 2026, like something, but they don't tell us anything. And it's very frustrating because we're left wondering as fans. And honestly, you can't blame us for thinking this. Do you really have a plan? Toyotaro says, I got more coming. They say Super's on a hiatus. They didn't say it was over. They said hiatus. Will return eventually. But when? That's the thing. They always keep us in the dark, and it's really annoying. So on today's stream, I want to discuss Dragon Ball Daima Season 2. I think a lot of people were under the impression that Toriyama had more story to tell with Daima, that there's more there. And I can't blame you. If Dragon Ball Daima and Dragon Ball Super take place in the same continuity, Battle of Gods does not happen for another 3 years. Within 3 years, you got plenty of time to tell more Dragon Ball Daima related stories, or in that, sandwiched in that pre-Super, post-Daima time period. Do I want that? I want them to go past the end of Z. I think most Dragon Ball fans want them to go past the end of Z. They never listen to us. It's annoying. But today, myself and my co-host, who I'm going to introduce in just a moment, is going to discuss Dragon Ball Daima Season 2. What will it be? What could it be if it happens? And if they were going to do a Season 2, did Toriyama's death change that? Will they still do it? There's a lot of unanswered questions, and I wish I had more answers for you, but I've got some ideas for you, as they say. I've got some ideas of ways they could actually make everything right. Whether or not they do it, we'll see. Real quick, I want to get this super chat out of the way because it's not about the topic at hand. He says, just finished Vegeta versus Zarbon in the manga. The Frieza saga is 10 times better than in the anime. The pacing is certainly better. This super chat's probably better fit for the Mangalorean coming up on Tuesdays. So make sure that you check us out on Tuesdays. Me and Jordan do cover that. And actually right here, Dragon Slayer says it felt like they meant to do a second season. I'm trying to find out what the validity is to this. And if I do find out something, I'll let you know. Because Dragon Slayer's right. Any updates at all with Dragon Ball manga anime? Well, I mean, I just kind of went over that now. All right. And then Carne Burger. Do you have potential inside info if there will be a season 2 of Daima? That's what I'm going to try to find out. And then I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading your super chats a little bit late because I was doing the intro. I haven't even brought Real in. I'm going to bring him in a minute. Angel says maybe movies for that 4-year gap of Daima. I've seen some people say that they want movies. So maybe. I mean, look, as long as it looks like Daima and feels good, then there you go. And then this guy says, anyone know what the red letters meant? Listen, I've talked to 3 different Japanese interpreters. No one's been able to figure it out. Genuinely. Anyways, let me bring him on. He's been waiting patiently in the back room from KRW Network, Real to Real Productions, a.k.a. Mark. Thank you for your patience, man.
No worries. Thank you for having me on again. This is going to be fun, especially since you and I were discussing, and everybody will hear recently or soon, but we have different ideas as to what a season 2 would be. So there's stuff to talk about.
Yes. And of course, feel free to submit ideas that you may have in the chat to let us know like what you think they should do. But keep in mind that some of our ideas may go through, maybe similar to yours. We're all Dragon Ball fans. I know that Mark and I are a little bit different because Mark, you don't seem like somebody who, because you don't just watch anime. I know a lot of people that are viewers of the Geekdom 101 channel. They watch a lot of anime. I mean, like a lot, like tons and tons and tons. You and I tend to watch a little bit of everything, a little bit of animation here, a little bit of live action here. In fact, if you go over to World of Geekdom, Mark and I did a video a few days ago going over our Cobra Kai spinoff plot pitches. So it's similar to this, but it's about Cobra Kai. Mm-hmm. So check that out. But because you watch things that are outside of anime, do you think it gives you a different perspective than somebody who watches anime, maybe culturally?
I mean, for sure, especially if you only watch anime, considering the fact that that's mostly Japanese art style, or at least a medium, you tend to kind of, I would say, like somebody would actively think that stories need to progress in a way that anime normally progresses. And Dragon Ball is just such a great example of that, where Akira Toriyama he's a kind of a discovery writer his entire life. And he was essentially building the modern day version of what we believe like a shonen should be while he was drafting the original Dragon Ball run. So I can imagine a lot of people like gravitate towards that and think about arcs and storylines in that direction. I know you and I have discussed this before. A lot of people think about Dragon Ball as big fights, transformations, and all that other stuff. One of the reasons I like Daima more than I thought I would, you were in our conversations and your videos and everything, you were talking about like, just give it a chance, even if you think it's going to be like.
I'm very optimistic, but sometimes to a detriment. Sometimes it's not going to be that good.
Sure. But like, I will say, and I'm sure like this stuff will come up in this video, but one of the things I liked most about Daima is the lore, the plotting, the character moments. And that's kind of what I gravitate towards with Dragon Ball nowadays than I did when I was a child, or any other real anime viewership. And like you said, like you get that from reading this book, watching this show, movie, and stuff like that. It's just more about the character moments for me, and the lore aspect of like trying to build the world and see where things are, backstories for things and people and species and whatnot. I want more of that, and it's probably something we're going to discuss here.
Yeah, Toriyama being a discovery writer, even within the world of anime and manga, is different than a lot of anime and manga authors because, you know, he was making it up as he went along. He had some plans, but when he was writing the Frieza saga, he wasn't thinking about Majin Buu. When he was writing the Pilaf stuff at the beginning of the series, he hadn't thought of Kami or Piccolo or any of that, you know. And then what makes him a lot smarter than people give him credit for, especially back then, is that he was able to make it all fit. I mean, there's contradictions, but not that many. And I think modern Toriyama isn't quite the same. And I think the problem with Daima was that I think it left a lot of open-ended questions. There's actually been people who have been saying that, well, you're going to get your questions answered in DBZ Kakarot. And I don't think that's happening, number one. And number two, I would absolutely hate that because I don't like the idea of us having to play a video game to get. It's kind of like what Star Wars does when they say, well, you'll like this movie, but first you got to read these 6 books first and then you'll get it. No, the books and the game should add to it, but you should never leave things out of your main story. And I think a lot of folks felt Daima, the ending just felt kind of abrupt, you know?
Yeah.
But it ended on a gag. It ended on a gag, which is very Toriyama-like.
Yeah, I like with the Star Wars thing. The thing that always comes to mind is that the Emperor Palpatine thing was revealed and came back in Fortnite, right? So, like,
oh man, you're right. You're right.
So like that's next level annoying. But like, yeah, I agree with you that don't play video games. If it's going to be in the manga, put it in the manga. Anime, if they're conjoined and all of it is canon, non-canon, or whatever, then at least give it in the mediums that people ingest and don't make people go to a completely different medium for major story development.
Yeah, it should be its own thing.
Right.
I do have a super chat here from Wayne. He says, what if Neva split with the llama like Kami and Piccolo? I think something like that's been brought up before. It's possible, but I don't think so because you have to go back. And if you want full context, please check out the video I did, The History of Piccolo. Kami and Piccolo split because if Kami didn't split with Piccolo, he couldn't become Kami. Neba has no reason to expel his evil. Neba's a neutral character. So I understand where you're coming from, that you think they might be the same person. Maybe they will reveal that they have some kind of connection. I think a lot of folks think they do because you have the Demon Dragon Balls and the Super Dragon Balls. I don't know about them being the same originally.
Mm-hmm. I would say on that, my theory there, and I know it's not really something we can cover here, but my theory with this is always that the Namekian race was Zalama, and that he split. Whether it was in the demon realm, which I guess is where they came from, it was originally just one guy who split into multiple beings who could then like procreate internally. So they're all just kind of copies of each other, but they're getting weaker and weaker and growing their population like that.
Yeah, that's like something like that's, you know what that reminds. It's gonna be random as hell. Remember in Fantasia. Are
you talking about the broom? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what this is.
How many people in the chat remember that movie Fantasia? It's one of like the 3rd or 4th Disney movie.
Yeah, it's very old.
It's very old. Sleep says if they want DB Daima to fit in, they could do a Super Dragon Ball Heroes type anime and have Daima Goku meet DBS Goku and characters like Hearts get rewritten. No, that is the dude. Dragon Ball Daima just spent 20 episodes rewriting all the stuff that Heroes wrote, and you want to go back to doing another Heroes? No, brother, it's this simple. Daima Goku is just Super Goku 3 years earlier. Where's Super Saiyan 4? Where's Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta? We're going to talk about that on this stream. But if you're going to sit there and split the timeline even more, you're going to have even more canon arguments. You're going to have even more. I mean, the last couple weeks, not so much now, but the first week after Daima ended, dude, it was a war zone out there. Like, the people that hated Super were like, Daima has decanonized Super. That was never said. Oh, no. Daima is a side project. You know, Super's the real canon. That was never said. None of that was said. And unfortunately, as a fandom, and me specifically, the Geekdom 101 audience, I try to stick as close to the facts as possible. And the facts are neither of those things are true. So until we get clarification on any of that, there you go.
Right.
You should give a shot to other anime. Okay. It's not that we don't watch other anime. It's that we watch stuff besides other anime. Nobody said we don't watch other anime. I've tried a lot of other anime. Robert Wolf says, Daima gets a season 2. Can we get an actually component
villain, cough, Toa?
Competent. You're not going to get Toa, bro. Like we've already talked. Daima just got done decanonizing heroes, and we've got 2 super chats. No, bring heroes back. No, you're not going to get Toa, bro, because you want to know why you did get Toa, and that's Dr. Arinsu. And you've been in the streams, Robert. I have talked about this. I have seen you in the streams. You know this to be true. But we are going to talk about a competent villain on today's stream, because the first thing I want to talk about with you real to real is, look, Goma was fun. Goma was a funny guy, especially when even when he was in his giant Goma form. Every time he got hit, he made a stupid face, and you could pause it and see how funny his face was. I think for Daima season 2, we need a seriously bad villain. We need someone who you can have jokes in the show. Obviously, I'm not saying to make it as serious as like the history of Trunks, but the villain needs to be pretty no nonsense, I would say, to make people really kind of differentiate it between what was Goma and this.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, just a bit of a tone shift. It's really interesting that they've used the third eye to make him like you said, like a peel-off type of villain who's now beyond end of Z type of strength. That was really interesting to me, and something that elevated the show a little bit in terms of the fights and the drama of it all in the last episode or 2. But other than that, it was just pretty much all jokes the entire way through, with the Super Sentai guard, Majin Buu, Majin Do, and like pretty much everything with Goku up into the point, I would say, until Vegeta turns Super Saiyan 3, that's when it gets a little bit more serious with all of them.
As a kid or as an adult?
No, as a child, when he takes out
Tamagami 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everything up until that point was, I don't know. Like for me, it's a competent villain. The one thing you need is a competent villain and a sharper runtime. Like it needs to trim a lot of the fat, which is crazy because it was only like 20 episodes, and it felt like a lot of it was really dragged out.
Or you use your time wiser, which I think we all can agree they could have done that. Now, I want to get to some of the ideas here in just a minute. He says, Geekdom, what's your thoughts on the volume 24 cover? He's talking about Super. I like the art. I like it. It's cool seeing the 5 of them, like Orange Piccolo, UI Goku, UI Vegeta, Broly, Gohan Beast. When are we going to actually see all 5 work together? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Thank you, Toyotaro, for teasing us once again. So, yeah, there you go. All right, so we can agree that for Daima Season 2, we need a more serious villain. I've got an idea for a more serious villain. Now, I want to address this one super chat. Well, it's not a super chat, but it's about a super chat. He says, if I donate 50, will you do a video on anything? Not necessarily. What I said was, if you super chat $50 with a video topic, I have the right to say no, but I will do a video on it. However, a whole video, it'll get its own video. But if you send me some bullshit, some like, hey, what's stronger, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito fused with Gotenks with the third eye, with 2 eyes in his ass and 1 in his dick, I'm not doing that video, bro. All right, like, forget it. So, but But if you submit a super chat, I will do a standalone video if it's a question or whatever. So I did say that a while ago. All right. Air Dog says, explore Glorio's past and tie in the new villain. What do you, before we get to our individual pitches, what do you think about exploring more of Glorio's past? I feel like that would be a nice little one-shot manga, maybe 2 or 3 chapters, kind of like the Solo movie was, except better. You know what I mean? Like a little Glorio, the history of a scoundrel. What do you think?
Yeah, first and foremost, any type of one shot in the Dragon Ball universe is, I think, something that they need to do. You were talking about this before you brought me on, that give us something. You have 10 years worth of story. It doesn't all have to focus around Goku and Vegeta. We were saying this for years with Dragon Ball Super. Give us a hit story. Give us something with Jiren. Glorio, give us that. Like, I feel like there's a significant fan base for Dragon Ball that would eat this stuff up. And again, like a one-shot off comic like they did with the Galactic Patrol. There's enough of an audience there that would make that worth their while if it's literally just the manga. Like,
there's also a lot of manga artists that would love to be a part of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't it be awesome, since a lot of One Piece fans love this dude? Wouldn't it be great? Because Oda wrote a very heartfelt message when Toriyama passed away. Wouldn't it be cool if Oda wrote like a chapter of Dragon Ball? Doesn't have to be about Goku, but like his own little Dragon Ball adventure, just as a tribute to the man who he respected. I'd be fine with that. I would be perfectly fine if they got other manga authors, not just Toyotaro, to do like little, maybe 3-month runs. I don't see why that would be an issue, man. Like, we always get on these streams, and I've been doing this now since Super ended. Oh, they could do this. They should do this. And like always, bro, it's like they have the barbed wire around the neck and they keep squeezing.
Right. No, I agree with you. Any mangaka, like any of them coming in and doing, I mean, didn't they do that for, was it the 50-year anniversary book or whatever?
They did covers.
Yeah, they covered. I know they
Yeah.
didn't do their own stories, but they all like did their own interpretation of characters.
Yeah.
Amazing. That would be crazy. Like, I feel like that would doing that for an entire year where everyone writes like one, it's just like one chapter, not even like a volume, not multiple months, just one chapter, and do it for a year, 52 of them.
Or even if they don't, because if Oda's busy with his own stuff, which he is, you don't have to do, like I said, more than a couple months. I mean, it doesn't have to be super long either. It's something to think about. It's something to think about. I feel like between the two of us, and before anybody says Jiznak the Gusher, like besides all the goofy ideas, we've given them material. It seems between the two of us to last years and years. Austin La Vista says, should Toyotaro do a Daima manga adaptation and connect it to the beginning of Super with the answers we have questions for that came about with the ending of Daima? I do not want a manga adaptation of the same story we just saw in the anime. We had a year of superhero where I wanted to shove a fucking spoon in my ass. No. If Toyotaro does like an in-betweener manga, okay. But I do not want to read the same Daima story that we just saw for 20 episodes, bro. I don't. And by the way, he took that superhero movie, which was a little over an hour and a half, and stretched it out to a year. That means that the little Daima manga you want could be like 3 years. Nah, man, I don't want to hear the same story again. I want something new.
Oh man, that would be really boring. Yeah.
Yeah,
we've done this a lot. We've done this a lot with Dragon Ball, right? Like Super, especially because he did a little bit of Battle of Gods and then a little bit of like 1 or 2 chapters of Fukatsu no F, and then that stuff, right? Like he skipped Broly, I think
he did, but then he went back and told it in flashbacks.
Yeah,
recently. Whatever. Angel says, when are we going to get Volume 24 animated? Yeah, He's asking when Super's coming back, but changing the language, thinking that I'm not seeing through that. I'm seeing through what you're doing, bro. All right. Havoc says, Canon, Toa and Mira that was made by Toriyama was made for DB Online. If they exist in Toriyama's universe, they don't show up until after Z. That is correct. There's a lot of stuff Toriyama wrote for Dragon Ball Online. However, a lot of that stuff was written a long, long time ago. They could always go back to that material. They did borrow bits and pieces of it for episodes of Super, and Toyotaro borrowed some of it, and so did Daima. Actually, one of the ideas from Dragon Ball Online, I'm going to borrow for Daima Season 2 very shortly. I want to get through these super chats here.
Yeah.
I want to get to your story and mine. Amari316, happy birthday, Amari. He said, today is my birthday. Yes, I know. You told us earlier, and happy birthday. I'm going to be 25 years old. I started watching you when I was 17 in 2017 during the DBS era. Damn, man. Way to make me feel old.
That's nice, though.
No, it is nice. It is nice. And I hope that you have a very good 25th birthday. You're a quarter of the not a bicentennial. What's it called when a quarter centennial? Like
I know bicentennial. I don't know what a quarter is.
Well, Amari's by a few things, and centennial might not be one of them, but no, I hope you have a good birthday, bro. Seriously. I said that earlier, and I hope it does turn out good for you. Okay. So let's talk about Daima Season 2, how it needs, and here comes another super chat. I'm getting this last one, and then y'all are going to have to wait. All right. TTTG, I think they should have 2 shows, main show and Vegeta and Goku, and another show on Gohan and the rest of the Z Fighters. That's probably never going to happen, but your idea I already pitched before, but not 2 shows, just 2 different stories, and each episode cuts in between them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That a lot of shows do that, Mark, man. Like, we've talked about this, bro. Like, just even remember when you and I had that conversation off air about Godfather Part 2 and how that formula could be used again. And there actually was a time when Coppola was going to do Godfather 4 and tell a prequel with Sonny and a sequel with Sonny's son. The fact that that idea hasn't been used that often is always a head scratcher, because if done right, that's a tremendous way to tell a story. Cobra Kai did the thing in season 3 where you had the regular story, then you had flashbacks to Vietnam and John Kreese every episode. Shows can do stuff like that.
Well, they can. Yeah, you and I discussed this. Like, I think my pitch to you when we started discussing this was I wanted something like that for Creed 4, where you have Adonis and you go back and show Apollo's early career.
Yeah,
that was kind of, yeah, like they should do that stuff more.
I got an idea. Do you remember? It just hit me. We have to do a video about this on World of Geekdom. Do you remember how we talked about how Michael B. Jordan's a big fan of anime and he wants to do like an animated Rocky project? Well, with Carl Weathers having passed away recently, wouldn't it be awesome if we had a story where the present was live action? This is really outside the box thinking. And the past was anime style. So that way you can have an anime character that looks like Carl Weathers without having to recast the role.
I like that. That would be pretty interesting.
That would be awesome.
I was expecting to do more.
Get Hajime no Ippo's choreographers for that. Yeah.
They got that Amazon money, so they can do whatever they want.
Yes, they do. Havoc says also there's nothing stating Zalama is Namekian, only that they shaved off pieces of the Super Dragon Balls. Yeah, I say that like every 3 streams, I feel. But people just have it in their heads that's what it is. First time listener caller. No, you're not. I know who this is. I thought Daima was a fun run. People just need to be happy for any Dragon Ball we get. Cheers. Somewhat. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't think Daima was bad, but it could have been better. Joshua says, can Black Frieza destroy an invincible Zamasu? Probably not. Thank you. Thank you, Grizzly, for the 5 gifted memberships. Okay. If you have super chats, y'all, they're going to have to wait because I'm going to get into the pitches now with I would suggest that you guys wait till we get done and then, of course, submit yours. So for Daima season 2, let's say we had 20 episodes to play with, right? Now, I didn't write, I want to make this clear. I have some ideas. I did not write episode by episode. I don't have time to write 20 episode scripts, okay? That's just not happening. But I did write some bullet points for some ideas and things like that they could do to where we could explain Super Saiyan 4. We could explain sort of some of the loopholes before Super while giving people still a bit more fan service and a new story in the demon realm. Were your ideas, because I think your idea that you came up with, I think you said it was mine is a year after season 1. Yours
mine's a significant time skip. Mine's like having to play with Super and then moving forward. So I'll get to it.
That's more. See, the thing about that is that would not be Daima season 2. That would be like a new Super story.
Well, theoretically, I'll get to it. Kind of. I think you have to play with the various things from Daima and Super to make mine work, as well as like some of the stuff from the previous stuff like Dragon Ball Z and everything else.
Yeah, you and I have completely different ideas of what this was going to be. I should have probably been more, because you sound like what you want to do is tell a Super story that returns to the demon realm. I'm trying to connect Daima to Super to end the damn canon debate, but I still want to hear what your idea is. So give it to me. Pause.
You want me to go first?
If you want, I mean, I've got notes on what I have, but I can go first too. I mean,
mine's not as like well thought out. So I guess I'll go first. So Dragon Ball Super obviously has been on a hiatus for a really long time. I think one of the biggest prevailing fan theory, especially since we were talking about that new cover art where you have kind of the five main guys.
Toro,
yeah. My thought was kind of giving the fans what they want. The prevailing fan theory is like when you bring Dragon Ball Super back, you work your way towards the second Tournament of Power. We've had 2 major arcs with Moro and Granola since the Tournament of Power ended. You'd give a second Tournament of Power where you have a more robust lineup for Universe 7, but in true Dragon Ball fashion, everybody who fought in the last Tournament of Power has also gained strength because they've come up against a lot of different enemies and stuff. They fought in the original one. They
train.
Right. Everyone knows that it's coming back. Everyone's getting prepared. You have something that's far more dangerous. And then because this is taking place around the ending of Super, then you can bring in Oob. So you have Oob, you have Black Frieza, the 5 main people, and whoever fills out the rest of the roster, whether it's Goten and Trunks or whoever. And then everyone fights, big climactic ending to Super where they're not erasing universes, they're just giving away the Super Dragon Balls. And the winner is not Universe 7, but somebody else, this crazy villain or something. So like this is why you connect them without actively stepping on one or the other. So Daima happened, then all Dragon Ball Super, you get to the Tournament of Power. This other person from one of the 4 universes that didn't win in Dragon Balls or didn't compete in the original. Yeah, this guy's there. He uses the Dragon Balls after winning and beating Goku, Vegeta, and everybody else to grant access to the Demon Realm to get the third eye. Like he gets a version of the third eye, and then
why wouldn't he just wish to be immortal? He wouldn't need a third eye.
I feel like you have a character. One, we've already done that in Super, and then 2,
if he's that evil.
I think at this point, like you just have a character like he's.
See, I thought like you were going to say. I thought what you were going to say was the tournament is interrupted by Demon Realm people, and they steal the Super Dragon Balls. That's what I thought you were going with it.
Either way, it doesn't really matter either way. The point is to get back to the Demon Realm.
Okay.
My biggest thing in terms of like, and I was saying earlier, like characters, lore, and like really kind of utilizing various elements from Dragon Ball that have been kind of swept under the rug or forgotten about for the last several years and or decades. So my biggest thing here is when you get to the Dragon Ball Daima season 2, again, Super's done, the Tournament of Power is done. It leads directly into a season 2 of Daima. And the main focal point, although probably not having all the shine and fights and stuff, is Oob. And primarily because I like the idea. I like the idea that Majin Buu and Majin Buu were still out there. And the idea that because of what we saw in Dragon Ball Daima, there's an implication to me that Buu, when they fought him in the original Z, was not his full self, because they still had pieces of Buu that they were using and they created. So you bring back you bring back the fusion bugs, and you finally use them where Oob fuses with Ku and Du to make a canonized version of Majub from Dragon Ball GT.
Like a new Majub, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as long as there's a scene where he calls Marba grandma and she bakes him gingerbread cookies, if that scene is in your story, it's a winner, brother.
Sure.
Because when you look at Marba, right, let's be honest, when you look at Marba, she looked like she knows how to make she's got big mama energy, bro. She looked like she knows how to make some beef stew and some gingerbread cookies. Am I lying? If I'm lying, I'm flying and I'm on the ground still here.
So, but my point is like, you have this character, you have the ability then to use a much stronger, much more serious character, and all of the people and the power-ups and interesting things from Dragon Ball Super to go up against and have a very big climactic fight. I think that would be really fun. Plus the idea of going past Z, being able to use Oob in a meaningful way, because again, like I said, like you have Ku and Du out there still. They're part of Buu, the original Buu. So you can finally make him whole and complete, full power Majub, canonized version, and then I don't know, big climactic fight, 20 episode arc. Then you're kind of free to do whatever you want. Is Super going to continue? Are we just in Daima now?
Well, that was my question. Do you think it'll be confusing to basically set up Daima in two different eras? You know what I mean by that?
I don't think so, because I mean, Daima kind of came out of nowhere anyway, right? So like, who cares? Like, and there was nothing in Daima, and I know canonized fights and people are upset one way or the other, but heck, I watched Daima and I was like, hey, this is just set before Super.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just set before Super.
That's what we know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then you can, I don't know, figure out a reason in canon for Super as to why Goku doesn't turn Super Saiyan 4 anymore. And then that's the biggest lingering question. If you could just pave over that a little bit.
I've answered that question before.
Yeah,
but I am thinking about doing a video called "Answering All Unanswered Questions in Daima."
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I'm thinking about throwing that in there as well as the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta question, because I think like making a video basically taking the most frequently asked questions I've gotten on this show, and like, you know how, remember you told me like how you said that on KRW. By the way, check out KRW Network, cheap plug. You take your weekly videos and podcast it. So I'll take the most frequently asked questions I've gotten on this show and make them into a video where everything gets answered.
Right. No,
to the best of my ability. I mean, I'm not Toriyama, bro. I am not Toriyama.
I will say, and again, it's a very basic pitch. Again, you and I are not paid to write this. This is something I came up with literally last night. Like, I was just thinking like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? If I had months, if not years, I think we could figure out a really interesting way to bridge this gap in a fun way. But I'll put up this in terms of, somebody said earlier, like they want just movies for Daima, right? For that 3.
Well, they want a movie, which I get why they want that. It makes sense.
That kind of got my brain working. Is like, you know what I want? If you're going to have to stay in this era and do something different, I want an anime special, but it's what Gohan was doing during Daima.
I can think of a few things that he was doing before he got turned to a kid. Now, as a kid, he was probably back in like Garlic Jr. era reading about bugs and shit. That's all I can. The thing that's weird about the whole Gohan thing is when he became a kid again with Videl, because we assume that it happened to them too.
Right.
Wouldn't they just immediately have gone to like the heavenly palace and been like, what the hell's going on? And then maybe, you know, Boo or whoever, Mr. Popo would have been like, well, here's what happened. And then they tell him, like, that's my guess. And I wanted to see that in the show. They didn't even bother to even give us that scene. The Gohan thing was so strange because even when it had come to my attention that he probably wasn't going to get involved in the final fight, I really, really thought he was going to appear in the last episode. Just like how I really, really thought they were going to use the bugs. Those are two things I was for certain were going to happen that didn't happen.
Well, they certainly set up those bugs. It's weird because that fusion bug was given more shine and more foreshadowing than Super Saiyan 4. It's just
it was. Yes, it was.
They just fall out of his pocket and then never.
And they even showed the little sign like, oh, it could be a triple fusion. When they were writing this show, did they not think, if we put this in, surely the fans won't actually think it's going to happen, right?
This is why I'm saying about the using oob, because like they weren't really clear about the rules of how that bug works. And at this point, all the fusions that we have besides the Namekian one are less than permanent. So this to me, unless you're God, this to me is one of those things is like it should be permanent. And this is why you need to use it with oob, because he can fuse with, you know, tangibly connected parts of himself to create a better version of himself, a more whole version. And then you don't ever have to use it again, right?
I mean, it would, but then who becomes king of the demon realm? Then is Oob going to be the king of the demon realm?
Why not get rid of him?
Get rid of him. You're like, fuck it, we're going to bring him back. Get rid of him already.
They don't want to use him. They've never wanted to use him, so just get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I mean, but they could figure out ways of using him. Like the thing about Dragon Ball. Because oftentimes a lot of the questions that we see, and I don't mean just me, I mean just things that people talk about in the fandom is, well, Geekdom or Real or Mark or whoever, YouTuber Black and Fist. No, he doesn't do YouTube anymore. I don't know, whoever. And you say, hey, do you think they could ever like figure out a way to make Krillin relevant again? And it's like, with good writing, yeah, if you sit there and think outside the box, you could. I mean, they took Frieza, who by the time of Resurrection F was a damn nugget in the toilet, right? And then gave him Golden Frieza. Now, was that explanation a little bit too lazy? Some would say so, but they figured out a way to kind of make him relevant again. I think there's ways to make any character relevant, including Oob. You just got to be a little creative. And I do think that, and this is, I say this with respect to Toriyama, the whole he trained, that's your explanation for everything, bro. Like, we need a little more. Give me a little bit more. You know what I mean? That's, in my opinion, I think he's overused that in modern Dragon Ball, not so much the old. Now, training is very important. I do like training, but I like specified training. For example, Goku and Vegeta training with Whis to learn God Ki, that I like because it's a new type of training. But Frieza curling a few dumbbells and learning how to do Golden Frieza is, you know what I mean, right? Like,
right.
Now, I said this before. I wish Resurrection F actually showed Frieza training. And not even the TV version did.
Mm-hmm.
So, big letdown there. All right. Amari says, at this point, I just let them cook, whether it is Daima Season 2 or Super Returning. Despite my issues with modern Dragon Ball, I will at least have fun with it. Well, I think that's a good mentality to have. But I think I see people. I saw a kid the other day, and I'm not going to name him, but he was basically saying things like, oh, I need that new Dragon Ball movie trailer. And I'm like, bro, Daima just ended 2 weeks ago, brother. Like, you telling me you have nothing else going on in your life, bro? Like, I love Dragon Ball, and Geekdom 101 is my business, but it's like, motherfucker, I need that trailer. All right. you know what I'm saying? And I'm still not, I'm not like, you know what, like, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen. And unfortunately, see, Dragon Slayer said Dragon Ball addict. Maybe. I mean, look, I understand wanting more Dragon Ball. We all want more Dragon Ball. It's just Daima just ended, bro. Like, I don't mind there being a little break. What I worry about is the break is 5 years. I don't think it will be, but you know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah, it's who cares about a little break? It's the lack of transparency with what they're doing. And it's also strange.
And I want to address this. Mommy ET, Dragon Ball struggling right now. Dragon Ball, you must not have seen that video I did about the numbers, buddy boy. Dragon Ball is still the #1 Toei property to this day. Struggling, my friend. You must have Dragon Ball mixed up with something else. Hugo says, I don't think Daima has to connect to Super if they don't want it to, but I wish they just give us a heads up whether it will or won't at all. Yes, I agree, but what is the connection? The connection is the fact that Akira Toriyama wrote the manuscript for both series and supervised Daima. So if Akira, let's use our brains here, guys. If Akira Toriyama wrote the manuscript for Super and Daima, why would Daima be a different canon? I don't understand. Because of contradictions. There's contradictions in Z and Super. There's contradictions in Z within itself. Like, the problem is, like he said, we do need more connections. But that's where I come in with my plot pitch.
All right.
Are you ready to go to mine?
Let's do it.
Okay. So now, yes, thank you, GYI. Why wouldn't it be? I'm going to connect it. You want to know something, y'all? Welcome to the Geekdom 101 Daima Season 2. Now, unlike Mark's idea, which I do like, because the idea of Oob exploring his demonic side has been something I've wanted for a long time, and actually having Oob go to the demon realm. The good thing about this stream is that realistically, if we were in charge of Dragon Ball, I could actually do my show and you could actually do your shows and they could all connect. Right. Because my show is not going to interfere with your idea at all. I'm not touching Oob. Oob is all yours. It's like how when X-Men 97 was coming out and Bo DeMeo was doing interviews and they were like, is Deadpool in the show? And he said, I was told directly from Kevin Feige, Deadpool is off limits. So there are some characters that are off limits. And that happens with a lot of these shows, like these big universes. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm talking about, man. Like there's, is Daima truly better than GT? Depends on who you ask. I think GT did some things better. I think Daima did other things better. I don't like comparing the two, although the comparisons are going to be made forever. Maybe someday I'll do a video. It's just that GT is so different.
I think that I will say that
some of it is for sure.
Oh, sure. I think GT was too much of a love letter to Dragon Ball. I mean, the first couple episodes, one of the reasons.
Well, so was Daima.
Well, yeah, very much so. But I'm saying like the first couple of episodes of Dragon Ball GT were pretty much just like remakes of early Dragon Ball, like the original, like the Kid Goku stuff, like almost verbatim, some of the same gags and everything. And Daima didn't really. It delved into humor, but it was more Akira Toriyama humor, where it was funny, short, sweet, but not overbearing.
That sounds like my sex life, bro. Air Dog says Daima's great, GT is okay, but then Clip says GT was awful except all the music, the end, SS4, and that's what I'm saying. Like everyone has their own opinion. Like I can't. GT is greater than Daima, so you're gonna have people in both camps, man. It's just Daima. I think Daima was their chance at saying, okay, we're going to take some of these ideas, like with Broly, and we're going to have Toriyama write them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's simple as that. All right, so let's get to, so the Geekdom 101 Daima Season 2. Now, I'm excited to tell you all about this because I wrote it literally. I spent at least 15 minutes coming up with this. No. I came up with it today, but I had the idea in my head. All right. And again, I didn't write the entire season. It's going to be more of a pitch with bullet points of ideas. All right. This is going to take place 1 year after Daima. We are still 2 years away from Battle of Gods. So no Beerus, no Whis, no Oob. That's being saved for Battle of Gods. We're not touching any of that. We're just going to focus on how do you do a sequel to Daima that connects to Super. And when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, okay, because I have eyes and ears everywhere, bro. I'm like Sauron, bro. I know what the fans want, but there's different kinds of fans. There's one fan group wants this, one fan group wants that, and you can't please everyone, but I think I did the best I could with this. So Daima Season 2 takes place 1 year, and if I got brights, I have the document pulled up on my monitor here. 1 year after the Daima Season 1 finale. So who is the villain? The villain of Daima Season 2, which we're borrowing from Heroes and from online. And before I go any further, if you're just joining us, this is a plot pitch. I'm coming up with this. Please do not send a super chat saying thank you for the scoops on Daima Season 2. Please don't think that I'm giving you news on Daima Season 2 because that happened on a stream. Remember, I did a stream about a month and a half ago, and people were asked, like, and I was given ideas of what they could do, and people were like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for them to do that." And I'm like, "No, that's just an idea." All right, so this is the idea. So the villain is an evil clan of demonic Namekians. Here's the idea. They were sealed away in Demon Realm 2, and Neba forgot about them. This happened millions of years ago. The seal was broken when Goku did the Super Saiyan 4 Kamehameha and blasted through the triple demon realm. These Namekians are old and they're evil. We have an evil Namekian for the first time in a long time. And we're going to have, and to add a little bit of lore, they were sealed away by Rymus. Now, I love the fact that, and I love this about Daima and Dragon Ball. I said this about Daima. Daima is consequences of the Majin Buu saga. Dabura died. Therefore, Goma became the Demon King. Mm-hmm. Goku went Super Saiyan 4, blasts a hole through the demon realm. Not realizing it, he breaks the seal, the magic seal that was sealing up these evil Namekians. Now, these Namekians are old. They have a lot of magic knowledge, but they're not that physically strong yet. So the evil Namekians kidnap Neba and this time try to drain his magic power and give it to their leader to power him up. So the question is, what is Goku going to do? This is the teaser. What the fuck is Goku going to do against somebody who's evil, who has Neba's magic? The guy who unlocked Super Saiyan 4 through magic, you have to face something like that. So Majin Buu finds out from a spy and asks Glorio to go get Goku because we got problems. Mm-hmm. So Glorio, like he did in the previous whatever, he leaves, whatever. Evil Namekian is revealed to be as old as Neba and the creator of the third eyes. That's who created the third eyes. Okay. So how strong was this guy? But he's been sealed away for too long. Now, unlike Dragon Ball Daima, because I know what the people want, Gohan will join them on this journey. All right. Like Gohan, because heaven forbid if I don't say that in this stream, someone's going to ask. Yes, don't worry. Gohan will be on their journey. Okay. So Piccolo, this time it won't be like 8 people though. Piccolo, Vegeta, Goku, Gohan. Goten and Trunks, let them, we don't need them, bro. I know people love them. I don't want there to be that many people going to the Demon Realm. Very small group. During the series, as we go through the 20 episodes, right, the evil Namekians overthrow Majin Buu. and they capture Do and Ku, and I'm even thinking about having them kill Majin Do. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh man, we don't want Majin Ku to die. Well, sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, bro. And Daima had no deaths. So you better believe I'm coming through with some fucking death, all right? Because if Daima's for kids, them little kids gotta learn about death. You understand? You get what I'm saying, right?
F them kids. Yeah.
Fuck them kids, like Michael Jordan said. But I might keep them alive, or I might have them resurrect Do, so that way this guy can get his fucking Oob storyline done. Yeah. We're doing the Star Wars thing where Rian Johnson told JJ, no. Let R2 go with Rey instead of BB-8. You know that story, right?
Yeah.
Except we're a lot better than Rian Johnson. All right, so now this evil Namekian wants to take out Rinsu as his bride. Now, before you say anything, yes, she can't reproduce. Yes, Namekians can't fuck. I get all that. It's not about sex, even though I'm sure the temptation would be there for him. It's the fact that he wants to channel her magic energy for himself. This guy is a magic. He's like the evil Doctor Strange, bro. He fucking wants all the magic.
Okay.
So by the end of the series, Neba is going to die. He is too powerful. We can't go into Dragon Ball Super with Neba alive, dude, because there's too many open up fucking stories. However, before he dies, he sacrifices himself, using up the last bit of his magic power to unlock Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Because everybody wants it. And don't forget, Daddy thinks about all of you. I do care about you guys. I can be a bit of an asshole sometimes with my jokes, but I actually do care about you guys, which is why I end every video and every stream with take care of yourself and each other. So Vegeta does get Super Saiyan 4. Now, in the show, I'm going to explain exactly what I said, which is... This guy's making fun of me. Super Saiyan 4 has to work with a magic trigger, right? So Vegeta doing Super Saiyan 4 is the last time we're going to see Super Saiyan 4 because Neba's going to die. And he chooses not to come back to life. And when they ask him why, just like Goku, he says, because I'm tired of taking baths and I don't have to bathe when I'm dead. Does that not fit with his character?
It does, yes, it certainly does.
He's like, I have been alive for 1,000 years and for 1,000,000 years, and I've taken 6 showers. I know anime fans can fucking relate, but he's not coming back. But guess what? Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta fail in defeating the evil Namekian, who at this point has all the magic. This dude's got fucking third eye, he got 8 eyes over here. This dude's got a bunch of eyes, bro. He doesn't even need, he's got the 3 eyes: intensity, integrity, and intelligence. That's the 3 eyes, right? But guess what's going to do the trick?
Fusion bug.
The fusion bug. Because unlike those bastards in Japan, I actually care about the Dragon Ball fans. I'm not gonna fucking tickle your taint with a fusion bug. We're gonna get the fucking fusion bug, Goku and Vegeta fusion, but it will not be Gogeta, because Gogeta is finger fusion.
Mm-hmm.
And Vegeta's Potara fusion. So this could be Kakageta with brown hair matching shit, or fucking Gokuta. Look, we'll figure out a name, all right? But the bottom line, it's a brand new fusion, but it will have now the hair color. we can't use Gogeta Red because that's already been done for Super Saiyan 4, right?
Right.
So what do you think about, like, we can't do silver either. What about here it is. It's going to be gold with a red, like in the middle, it's going to be red. Kind of like Gotank's base form, but it'll be gold on the sides and red in the front.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
They would have to be, they're going to be
Well,
Super Saiyan 4, right? Like they would have to.
Super Saiyan 4 Fusion Bug, but again, we're running out of colors here, Mark. That's the problem. They've used all the colors up already. No, we're not doing pink. We're not doing pink.
No, that's
bro.
rosé.
And rosé's been it's been done, and it works for rosé. So now, Kakajita is going to be the one to defeat the new evil Namekian, saving the demon realm. Gohan will help, though. Gohan will help. And just because I really care about the Gohan fans, I'm going to end the episode with a post-credit scene where Dr. Orinsu is reading her magic book and tells Gohan, you had your power unlocked by the old Kai. According to my magic book, there's a real beast inside of you. And then it's going to go to black and it'll say Gohan will return. Fuck you. Thank you. Merry Christmas. That's Daima Season 2. Beat that, Toei.
Probably can't. I feel like the fusion bug unlocking Super Saiyan 4 with magic, that would allow it to come back in the future, but not ultimately being for Goku and Vegeta to use at will. So connecting it to Dragon Ball Super, where 2 years later they meet Beerus and they go through all those adventures. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. They lose Super Saiyan 4 power. Now we can bring Super Saiyan 4 back later through another magician. I'm not saying it'll be gone forever, but they have to basically try to do Super Saiyan 4 on Earth, but they can't anymore.
Right.
And it's because it's an old magic trick. Now Gerson says, why not the Namekian use orange form with a foreshadowing to Piccolo? That's not a bad idea. Maybe he'll have like an orange aura. That is a pretty good idea. So shout outs to Gerson BN. Now, you're a creative writer. Okay, wait, hold on. Angel says, fusion bug name Vujiza. No, bro. This guy doing the Jiznak shit, bro. That's a different story. Yes, magic vampire Namekian. So how would you take that story and tweak it, and what kind of ideas would you throw in there?
Well, I like how you inadvertently just canonized a version. Like there's no way that this Namekian would come in, get all of use not necessarily the Dragon Balls, but grab everybody else's magic and everything.
Oh, wait. One more thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In the final battle. No. I forgot to say this. In the final battle, right? No, Piccolo doesn't have to mention in superhero books. They're unrelated. In the final battle, all 3 Tamagamis. So when Neba dies, right? The Tamagamis they sense it. Because it's like the Force. Okay. So the 3 motherfucking Tamagamis all sense it. And then they power up. And they unlock an enhanced form like Tamagami 2, and all 3 of them motherfuckers fight the evil Namekian. They lose, but they still put up a good fight. Can you imagine?
Too?
Well, now you really fucking make sure. Hey, give me a reach around while you're at it, bro, please.
Well, buy the toys, right? You get the 3, and then you need the 4th one. So it's just more toys.
Now Bandai, bro, you're about to become part of the Bandai blowjob brigade, bro. Start making videos on Sparking Zero, Mark. You're right in there. Yeah, they fuse and make Tamagami 6 because 1 + 2 + 3 is 6. That's good. That's good.
I feel like I said, you're kind of canonizing a version of Slug, though.
No, because Slug is Demon King Piccolo.
I know.
It's Demon King Piccolo, bro.
But I like the idea of having a Namekian be the bad guy, be like the first time since what, the 23rd tournament.
I mean, you're not talking about outside of Slug in the movies. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
I mean, like,
but the idea is that he's ancient,
yeah,
and he knows what Neba knows, but he doesn't have magic power anymore, so he takes Neba's.
right.
You know what I mean?
He
does like a some kind of like spell where he's like taking his the dyad in the force creates the one true emperor.
It would be cool. Like, so you're talking about like Neva. He's gonna die. Obviously, he's gonna die. But before he dies, he needs to do like something. So it's when you first started pitching it, I thought, okay, he's gonna take Neva and kill him quickly. But like, if this is
at the end,
yeah. But like, so this is like a spell or whatever it is that slowly drains. Like, it's not something that is doing, it's not immediate, but it's like slowly he's gaining more and more power.
Yeah.
Like make more eyes and stuff like that.
It's like a blood transfusion.
Exactly.
Like he's in a machine and you see like the energy kind of and like he starts glowing more and more orange. That's the way I picture it.
Yeah.
Where's Toei at, man? I just gave you $1 million, bro. I know, $1 billion.
No, yeah, I like this. So Neva's getting his magic and life force and everything is getting completely sucked out of him. Not to make any jokes.
Okay, so here's what's happening. I'll paint the battlefield for you.
Okay.
He's getting his energy sucked out, and then by the end, right? All right, hear me out, guys. There's a little bit more detail. By the end, right, this Goku shows up and he's like, let's fight. And then this time he tells Goku tells Vegeta, this time we'll take them together. And Vegeta's like, yeah, let's not fuck around this time. He doesn't say it like that, but so they jump in. He fucks them up. He's stronger than Third Eye Neba. He just like blinks and the motherfuckers get knocked out. So then Neba, now he interrupts the magic transfusion, but enough magic. Like the guy comes out and he's like, I have enough magic now. And he so then Gohan and Piccolo jump in, they get tossed around. Goku goes Super Saiyan 4, he gets knocked around. And then Neba's like he's like got it up against a mountain and shit. And he's like looking over the mountain and he sees like Vegeta down, like fucking like paralyzed and shit. Like, like hurt. And Goku's still fighting him as Super Saiyan 4, but he's losing. And then Neba is like, he does some shit where he's like, oh, fuck it, I've had a good life. And then he uses the rest of his remaining life energy, transfers it into magic, which unlocks Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then Vegeta does the Super Saiyan 4 Final Flash, but this time he puts another hole in the demon realm, and then
another person.
Yeah, and then Gohan goes, nobody else was sealed up, right? And then Ku's like, nah, don't worry about it. He's like, no, you can poke as many holes as you want now. We're good.
Well, here's the thing.
Because you're still gonna have some comedy.
I love, of course, but like I love the idea. But like the problem is this isn't 20 episodes, obviously, because
no, it is.
I know, but this like initial idea can't be 20 episodes because you can't have a 20 episode fight.
No, of course not.
But you have to have some. You have to have some obstacles in their way. Like Daima was like,
the ship keeps breaking down again. No, I'm kidding.
Right? No, that's part of the biggest problem that Daima had was like it just kind of felt like it was dragging or trying to find its pacing the entire way.
I have an answer for you. I have an answer for you. But
I have an answer.
Okay, give me your answer.
Okay, so this Namekian's super magical. He's taking all of Neva's
power. I'm gonna discuss it with the board of directors.
So what if you take a concept from another piece of Dragon Ball lore and you canonize it? Eradicate all Saiyans. I think that's what the video game, right? So like,
well, yeah, but what does that have to do with this?
This new Namekian can conjure demons of the past.
Oh, I like that.
So like
I like that.
So he's the thing, like he sits there and like, he can conjure up anybody's demons from the past. Goku's,
and
Vegeta's,
he
and everything.
spits them out as eggs like Demon King Piccolo did.
Yeah, but
these are black eggs and they hatch and it's like some fucking
But like it could be King Piccolo's. I can't remember all their names. His
Piccolo and Drum, but they're
like
older and more powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Raditz, Nappa.
No, not them. I'm talking about this unique demons, bro.
I know, but like
we got to sell more toys, Mark.
You can do that.
Bandai just told me that they want to change your idea into being new toys. They just told me that right now in the earpiece.
But my thought is like you do this because it's Eradicate All Saiyans, and it's also the Super 17 storyline in GT where you're bringing back demons of the past to fight before, so you can do all of that stuff. And these are obstacles. These are like henchmen and fighting people.
They did that in that one episode of Super where they had to get the fucking marijuana from Master Roshi.
That's true. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They've done that. But I love your idea of he conjures up, he spits eggs out, but they're ancient demons that existed prior to the multiverse existing. And now they're strong, but Goku and Vegeta can take them, right? Gohan can take them, but they're going to be obstacles there. Now, what I was going to tell you is, because you're over here like, well, what do you tell the story? So here's what happens. When he takes over Demon Realm 2, he seals away Demon Realm 1 and 3. So you can't get access to Demon Realm. He basically puts a big force field over his castle.
Right.
The final battle in this show or in this season is in Demon Realm 2, not Demon Realm 1.
Right, because it's the one where it's basically like the Namekian planet.
So what happens is Arinsu is like, there's a book missing from my library. What?
Yeah, I know. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, but there's a book that can crack the fucking the shell. She's like, I need you guys to find it in Demon World 3. So then they go down there, they do Scooby-Doo shit with fucking King Kadon. And then lo and behold, guess who's got the book? Pansy, who's using it as a fucking paperweight. She has like a desk and one of the legs is broken. So she puts the book there to keep that book's been there forever. You could take it. Then we have the Pansy cameo. I'm telling you, bro, just give me Dragon Ball.
I thought you were going to say
fuck you're fucking trapped in the fucking time chamber. Oh, what if Goku was betrayed and trapped? This is a real motherfucking story, bro.
I thought you were gonna say that.
Give me my flowers.
You need the book. You need the book, and yeah, Pansy has it, but it's the Namekian Book of Legends.
You and the fucking Namekian Book of Legends, bro.
They brought it up.
You know what I'm gonna do, bro? I'm gonna send you for your birthday a spiral notebook that says Namekian Book of Legend, and the way it works is you have to flip through it. And it's an animation of a dick getting hard, bro. I'm gonna send that for you, bro, because you want that bad.
I want that bad. Well, they brought it up, and it makes a lot of sense because the Namekians are in the Demon Realm. The Demon Realm predates the entire multiverse.
I still think that the Book of Legends was written after the Demon Realm, though.
Oh, okay. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, you're not wrong. You know, or even better, fucking Majin Kuu's like, I found the book, and then Arinsu's like, let me see. Oh, this is the Namekian Book of Legends. Who cares? And she throws that's Toriyama.
That's a better joke. Yeah,
that is fucking Toriyama, bro. I call upon the spirit of the creator.
Well, whatever gets us more Majin Ku and Majin Du, I'm totally fine with. I love both of those characters.
Dude, what do you think about the potential of Majin Du getting killed possibly in battle?
I feel like there has to be some stakes. That's the biggest problem Dragon Ball has had for a decade at this point. I mean, you can't move past the ending of Z, so who really cares what happens? I mean, I think the most egregious example of that in Dragon Ball's recent past is the super version of the resurrection of Frieza's storyline where Piccolo dies and then they just bring him back off out of the camera and everything, like just off screen.
The worst arc in anime history.
Right, exactly. But kill somebody from Daima. Kill most of them. Like they aren't really that important. We've had an entire season to get to know and like them. that death would mean something.
Well, you can always kill the shopkeep that has the 3 eyes. You could do that. You could. I mean, it would be kind of fucked up because it could actually play like in A New Hope when Luke goes back and sees like the fucking his Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's like skeletons and shit charred.
Right.
Like, what if Goku and them go to the fucking store and they just see like burnt remains of fucking? That would be fucked, bro. That's dark for the kiddies, bro. Dark as fuck for the kiddies. All right, Pablo says Goku lied to Vegeta about SS4 was just in him. He knows it was Neba's magic. He wants Vegeta to get under Vegeta's skin. You mean he wants to get under Vegeta's skin so he can train harder and that way he can have a better sparring partner. I don't think Goku would do that to Vegeta. I think Goku would instead tell him, do this, this, and this, because Goku would actually teach Super Saiyan 4 to Vegeta. That way they can fight on equal ground. That's what Goku would do more. I don't think he would just lie about that. So I don't know about that. Angel says there's only one piece for fusion bug candy. How can that work? Gotta be connected by someone getting it in the behind while they chew it. Y'all are so gross, man. He's talking about anal pop. We've gone from Daima season 2 to anal popping fusion bugs, bro.
I mean, he has a point. I don't know how it works. It's a good point.
Where's Cooler and Cell? They're not in the demon realm, I'll tell you that much. All right, Sleep says, if I was that Namekian, I would have Dr. Arinsu give me the Haktua. Bro, they are horny today, bro. Just like she did for Majin Ku and Du. They are horny today, bro. They feel about her the way you feel about Sensei Kim.
Sensei Kim.
Smugstick was the one to start Goku as trapped. No, I know he was, bro. And I love Smugstick. I wasn't making fun of him. I was making fun of the fact that video became a meme in the fandom to where even somehow, and I don't even know if Smug knows this, the Latin American fandom, and he is Latin, he's Mexican, but he doesn't make videos. At least I don't think he makes videos for Latin American community. They know about that now. So it's kind of crazy when you have a meme that can go into a different language. Kizma Gaming says Glorio can go. Do you think Glorio should die?
No, he's too much of a funny character.
I've got an idea for a way he could die, though.
He should go. He should be let. Like, I don't know.
What if Glorio, during the fight with the evil Namekian turns giant because every Dragon Ball Final Boss has to be gigantic now, and then Glorio does the fucking Independence Day where he fucking takes his ship and he fucking, you know what I mean, and then he kamikazes. You know,
I like him, but like, I guess he could die. I feel like Pansy could die. Like, if she dies, it would be more tragic. Although she has, I mean, she's 100 years old, but she looks like a little girl. I know, but like, I liked her character more than Gloria. I don't know. He can stay or he can go. I don't really care.
I just want him to do the fucking Independence Day. Hello, boys. Remember that? He was flying the plane drunk and shit, bro.
I agree with you that like he's gonna have to, and you have a Namekian main bad guy, right? So like obviously he can get big. So
if you're just joining us, you missed my Daima season 2 pitch. I'm very proud of it because I figured out a way to give people fan service. You're getting Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, a new fusion Gohan. It still kind of makes sense. We've got a different type of villain while still being somewhat familiar. We've been able to take Neva out of the equation and have it be a good sacrifice, a powerful moment to give Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. And we've been able to...
you create stakes by killing off a character that was introduced.
Yeah. And that way it sort of can explain why there's no Super Saiyan 4 in Daima and why, like, they might go back to the demon realm, they might not, but now that this evil Namekian's been beat, now there's really peace. You know what I mean? At least until the next story arc comes along where we
Battle of Gods.
Well, yeah. Right. And then the Battle of Gods, you know, I don't think you don't have to do a post-credit scene where Beerus dreams about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or some stupid. I saw some people saying that. No, you don't have to do that. People just know Dragon Ball Super's coming, especially with the post-credit scene of fucking Aritu telling Gohan, you have a real beast inside of you somewhere in there. Yeah, my wife says the same thing. And that's it, bro.
Gohan will return.
Gohan will return. No, it'll say, don't worry, Gohan will return. We'll start by saying that.
No, I'm always going to worry. Gohan has been forgotten about.
No, and then we're also going to have episode titles where the red letters mean something. And then at the very, very end, we're going to reveal what all the red letters mean from season 1 and season 2. And it's going to say, there is no canon. That's it.
All comes together.
That's it, bro. That's it. That is it, bro. I am so happy this turned out so good, bro. I had a good time with you today, dude.
Yeah, no, it's great. I really like your idea. I feel like it would give a lot more meaning to Dragon Ball Daima. I feel like the problem with what we have right now when they leave it, that the series ended so abruptly that it's just like, okay, well, it's just a side story, and like never really think about it again. Like, who cares? The way they've left it is like, unless they come back to it and do something like
think about it.
Yeah, I mean, but my point is like, unless they do something like what you're pitching, it wouldn't matter. Like, who cares? Like, okay, we got like a canonized version of Super Saiyan 4. Why? To sell more toys and put it in video games. That's why.
I mean, that is why, though.
Like,
yeah,
I know.
And hopefully everybody in the chat, whether you've been subscribed for a month or 10 years, hopefully you figured out by now that this whole thing is always done to sell toys.
Yeah.
It's no different than why they have a new Kamen Rider and a new Super Sentai show every year, because it sells toys.
Right. No, and that's true, but it's also.
But you can still sell toys and tell a good story.
But that's my point, is like, one, you were saying before, and I know you've made this argument a lot, that like Dragon Ball is still an incredibly popular brand. And it's weird that they're approaching it with like a late 90s, like a late 1900s perspective. Like, we're in the year 2025. Even anime and manga now is told with very deliberate stories. So you would imagine that they would think that through. They don't have. I don't want to say that Akira Toriyama was kind of hindering it, just like he just didn't care.
I don't think he cares as much as people think he does.
No, like that's my point. Like, I'm not trying to say that like that was bad. Obviously, it wasn't bad for the vast majority of Dragon Ball's history. I'm just saying now that he's gone, they can do with it more. I would hope like they would have a little bit more room to do with it in a more deliberate fashion than just like, oh, I like this idea. Like, I like this. I like this. I like this. Now do this. And it's like, yeah, but does this make sense with what we've done before? Is this a real story that we have to tell? Is this something that's going to come back? They never really had to worry about that because it didn't matter. But again, if it's 2025, they can look at Dragon Ball and think, okay, we could do a season 2 of Daima that leads directly into Dragon Ball Super, and then continue with Dragon Ball Super and do multiple different things at a time.
All right. Johnny says, finally, Danny speaks. I've been waiting. I'm sorry you had the stream on mute for the past hour and 26 minutes, bro. I'm glad you fixed that problem. No, this is a good one. With the Gohan part, they could show Videl being pregnant. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Daima season 2 is 2 years before Battle of Gods.
She's not pregnant.
I don't know if you know this about reproduction, brother, but if your wife is pregnant for 2 years, something is wrong. There's something very wrong there.
But she wasn't. She wasn't even like, she announced her pregnancy in Battle of the Gods.
She wasn't even showing a bump, which means that she had just Gohan might have been hitting that shit that breakfast earlier in the
and Dragon Ball never shows. Like I think Bulma being pregnant with Brawl was the only time we'd ever seen a pregnant female in Dragon Ball, right?
I think you're right, bro. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think that's it. And I will say this too. Look, here's the thing about what some people, okay, look, the goal of Daima season 2 is not to fucking connect everything to Battle of Gods. Like, we don't need 85,000. We don't need the last 5 minutes of Revenge of the Sith where they have to tie everything. No, the whole purpose of my season 2 is what happened to Super Saiyan 4, what happened to Neba, and why they don't go back to the demon realm. That's it. We don't need Beerus waking up having dreams of Goma. We don't need any of that shit, bro. It's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's actually the worst thing they can do. The whole point is Daima sort of exists as here's Goku's adventures in the demon realm. And like Real pitched earlier in the stream, we can go back there in the future as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not to like tie everything in. Okay. Angel says, what if Neva and Piccolo fuse? God, this again. When he was with him in his final moment while everyone else fights, and later on during Super Volume 24, Piccolo remembers that he fused with Neva and can heal people now. Because that's a terrible idea. No offense. No offense. I you know me, bro. I shoot straight from the hip. That is a bad idea. You're doing that thing where you're creating more questions and creating more logic holes. He magically remembers, oh, I can heal again. No, dude. Don't. And again, you know I love you, brother. I am not in any way saying that anything bad about you as a person. This is going to cause more problems, dude. This is, forget the Neba dies, bro. Neba sacrifices himself by giving his last bit of magic to Vegeta. That's his ending, bro. We don't need fucking Neba and Piccolo. You're gonna be 8 people inside Piccolo, bro.
Well, that's true, right? He's going to be like the Namekians at the ending.
There's more people. There's more people in Piccolo than Mia Khalifa, bro. Like, no, we don't need it. We don't need that. But no more Namekian fusion, bro.
Plus the idea of Neva dying and like, no, don't bring me back with the Dragon Balls. I like any of the Dragon Balls because I don't want to bathe anymore.
I don't want to bathe anymore. Yeah, and he says, I've been alive for 1,000,000 years. It's boring. I'm in the afterlife now. Don't bring me back. I don't want to bathe. I mean, it's even a Toriyama joke.
Mm-hmm.
No, let's have him fuse with Piccolo and create another fucking logic hole. Piccolo does not need to learn how to heal. Dende being the healer and them using Zenzu beans or the revive bugs in the demon realm, that's enough. You don't want to have a group of superheroes where they're super fucking strong universe busters and you have a healer. It's more dramatic if Piccolo doesn't know how to heal.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know what I mean? Caffeine Rabbit says, hope if we get a season 2 of Daima, they bring back Janemba. Jin means demon. Just rename him Majinemba. That's kind of clever, actually. Majinemba. That's a clever name, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you your flowers on that one. But I would love to see Janemba come back because that's my favorite movie villain.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe in your Return to the Demon Realm story, they could do something like that. We have a plot pitch where we brought Janemba back, I think.
Yeah,
we did.
That was years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Years ago. Y'all should check out the videos I did with Real to Real, where we figured out ways of like taking
Tree of Might. This is the Jiznek stuff, right?
The shadow. Well, yeah, that was a joke, but
yeah, but
we figured out how to bring back the shadow dragons and all that.
The Tree of Might, Janemba. We did a couple of those. Yeah,
we did Baby, I think too. I think at one point, right?
Yeah, we did Baby.
Yeah, they were fun. Like, this is fun. I like doing this with you. It's a good time. You know, it's a good time. Quest for Glory Gamer says season 2 would involve Majin Buu getting stolen by saying the magical paradise to revert him back into the ball. Shenanigans galore plus fusion final fight. I don't understand.
Wait, Season 2 would involve Majin Buu getting stolen by saying the magic phrase to revert him back to the ball. What?
Oh, he's talking
Oh,
about
into the ball
Bob,
that he. Oh,
Bobbity,
Bobbity.
Bobbity.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what?
Okay.
I actually don't hate that idea. Fusion Bug Reborn. We're not gonna call it that, but you know what? I would fucking like make memes if that happened. Like if we did that. Sleep says, speaking of new DB anime, what happened to your what if DB anime that only has one episode as far as I know?
He's
If you talking about Unseen?
Yeah.
Oh, Unseen's fucking that ain't gonna happen for a while, bro. Don't wait on it, bro. You got a better chance of GTA 6 and Super coming back than maybe not. If Rymus is still around, do you think that he has the power to recreate the trees that the Kais were born from? What do you think? I'd like to see that.
I would, but I feel like if you do that, you're going to build up a villain arc. It would have to be somewhat of a villain arc, and it would be too close to Zamasu.
How
can't
so?
just because why recreate it? Why recreate the trees if not to like create some antagonizing force with them or surrounding that? So like we've done like a Jin antagonist arc with Zamasu. So like I'm not saying it can never happen. It can't happen next because it's too similar to what we've seen recently.
Yeah, you'd have to tweak it. Wait, hold on. Uchi just got in the chat. You missed the entire plot pitch, bro. Uchi, I wrote my plot pitch for Dragon Ball Daima Season 2. I put so much fan service into this fucking story, bro, that if you and your brother were reacting to this on your channel, you would have 2 heart attacks simultaneously like Umaga, bro. You would, brother. I figured out how to get Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and fucking all 3 Tamagamis fighting a new villain and an evil Namekian to where it all makes sense with no plot holes, hopefully. I say that because you never know. Brother, you need to rewind the stream and listen to my idea and then go make love to your fiance, because I promise you, you will be, brother, you will be Space Mountain, bro, if you do that.
It's going to get you bricked up.
It'll get you bricked up, bro. He's young, so unlike us, he has no sorry. No. I'm trying to entertain the people. Now, this is actually a good question. What's future Trunks Demon Realm like? That is something to ponder about. Because the Buu saga went differently in Trunks' timeline.
So yeah, he beat Deborah. So Deborah's dead. But he also broke the Z. Like, he has the Z sword, right?
Yeah, I don't think he broke it.
Yeah.
He just trained with it, right? Yeah.
Wait, no. Didn't Deborah spit on it and it turned to stone and broke? I think. Hard to...
Something like that.
he Hawk-2'd the sword.
He Hawk-2'd the sword.
I think no, because so if Deborah's dead, then Goma, like he's ruling, and he probably never found the third eye. That's probably what happened. Because why would he? Like, why would he have found the third eye?
No, yeah, it would have he would have had no reason to have turned them into kids if they were all dead anyways.
Right,
like the Z fighters.
Well, he probably didn't figure, because Zamasu came and killed everyone, so it didn't really matter.
You know what? You just gave me an idea.
Did they kill the Demon Realm? Zamasu?
Well, no, he didn't say he did that.
Yeah.
But of course, Daima was written after Super, so but what you could do is, I want somebody to I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to edit this for me. we redo episode 1 of Daima, but it's Future Trunks' timeline. And you know how they're looking on the viewing globe of like what's going on. And then Goma's like, what happened to Deborah, the Demon King? He was killed by some teenage kid. Do we have to worry about him? Probably not. All right, let's get some applesauce. And that's it, bro. Like, you know,
well, yeah, because
no
like
Daima.
Well, because Deborah died, and then they killed Boo, and he's like, I can't have these people coming out. Like, they killed Boo, they're dangerous. Like,
Yeah,
Trunks
Boo
never had to
got
worry
hacked.
about. Yeah.
Right.
So
You're
like
right.
it's just some kid. Like we don't have to worry about this little kid. I don't know.
Or what are you laughing? I haven't said anything yet. Goma goes to Earth to get the Majin Buu ball egg, brings it to the demon realm. We're really freestyling. Rinsu takes it, gives it to Marba. Marba unlocks it. Here comes Majin Buu. Rinsu sends Majin Buu to kill Goma. Rinsu's the demon queen. Bam. That's it.
Okay.
Because there's no way Goma can take on fucking Majin Buu without the third eye, bro. Majin Buu would have turned him into fucking
a cookie.
Yeah, or fucking, I don't know, fucking something. No. It would have been something like shepherd's pie. Let's do a different food.
You only eat sweets? The pudding. Why not pudding?
Well, maybe she finds out that Majin Buu's diabetic. I don't know. Beningami says, Geekdom, put a timestamp to help your audience find your Daima 2 speak. I may cut it out and make it into its own video. I'm thinking about that. Yes, thank you, Amari. If I ran Dragon Ball, it would be fire. I wasn't even trying to be funny, though. Like, I really think that could work for Daima Season 2. Like, I think something like that. Yeah, I mean, you have to sit down. Now, one thing that you said earlier is this enough for 20 episodes? I think I would structure the series differently to where the final battle, the big finale, would start in episode 12.
Oh, wow.
Because then you go back to the Z style of storytelling where they go in, they get their asses kicked for one episode. The Tamagamis come in for another episode. Neba sacrificed himself to Vegeta for another episode. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta for another episode. Goku and Vegeta together, they fuse the cliffhanger for another episode. Kakajita versus... See what I'm saying? Like, you go back to the classic Dragon Ball Z style of battles. And if you do it that way, then all these fucking dorks who fucking shitted on Daima are going to be like, damn, man, the Geekdom 101 season 2 of Daima is what I wanted. But you're still going to get the comedy and stuff in the first 12 episodes, but the last 8 should be the final battle.
I get that. And you could also just, like we were talking about at the very beginning of this.
A 45-minute finale, bro.
What we were talking about at the beginning of this is like, it needs to be leaner, right? So like, go back to Z, have them fight for an extended period of time. So it's just this big drag out brawl where you have this person, then this person, then this person. I like that because I don't know. What am I thinking of? What was a kind of like the Saiyan arc, right? Where Vegeta and Nappa come, and it's just like one person dies after another person dies after another person dies. It's like that's the type of issue that they're coming up against.
And I think a lot of people, even in Japan, I think they really do like the Z pacing. Not so much for the Frieza saga because that was too long, but the Cell saga and the Saiyan saga, I rarely hear complaints about the pacing of those battles. So I think if we give them a Dragon Ball Z /GT type of finale, you can still have the first 12 episodes be a bit more lighthearted, a bit more comedy. Goku kind of, handles these fucking jabroni demons. And then the final battle has to be serious because at that point, the evil Namekian has already got most of the magic from Neba. And now he doesn't even need the third eye anymore, bro. Because remember, he created the third eye.
I do like that, especially since, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't, you were saying like, oh, Majin Buu tells him, Glorio, hey, we need you to go get Vegeta and Goku because like this shit's whack. The thing is, didn't they leave the ship that they had because they didn't have the fuel on Kami's Lookout. So they have a way of going to
That's true.
Demon Realm. And it's been a year. Maybe Bulma was working on it, and now she figured out a way to fuel it and everything, right?
Or, in fact, you just gave me an idea. You just gave me an idea. See, this is why we got to get in the writer's room, you and I. You, me, John, Josh, and Hayden, bro. We're going to get in the writer's room. So I'm going to take your idea and I'm going to mold it. Glorio shows up on Earth, and he's like, Majin Ku, King Ku needs you guys because there's an evil Namekian starting shit down there, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Bulma steps out and goes, wait a minute, motherfucker. You were purposely sabotaging the ship last time. I'm going to pilot this ship. You can come, I will go behind you.
Uh-huh.
And then Gohan gets to go in the cockpit with Glorio, and he's the one that for Daima season 2, he's the one that mispronounces Glorio's name.
Okay.
And so he's like, oh, look at all this tech stuff, you know? And he's like, you know, isn't this nice, Glorio? You know, that's how right? And then Bulma's behind him, and they're following him to warp.
Right. And so one of the things you can do, since they're also, if they're going in 2 different ships, you could do the Daima thing again, where they're not children anymore. There's action on both sides, but you can give Goku and Vegeta and Gohan and everybody shine, where when they're going in, they get separated for whatever reason. And this could be like an episode or 2. Yeah, this is like an episode or 2 where everyone gets a little bit of shine at the beginning, but this gives you a little bit of chance to have some character moments and some funny gags and stuff. They all come together by the 12th episode, and then you have like 8 episodes of fighting. Yeah, I like that.
And Gohan's whole thing is that he wants to stay behind to study like
the bugs.
Well, not just the bugs, to study the demon realm.
No, but
like,
he's a bug scientist. Like, he's a bug scientist. But
I meant all the biology. He wants to study. Right. The bugs is fine. Yeah, he was to study, right? And then Bulma's like, you can't study anymore here. You know, she'll say, are you going to move Videl down here too? And he'll be like, oh, right, Videl. Yeah, I better go back.
Yeah.
And then he goes, unlike Mom, Videl's not okay with me being gone for many years.
That's pure fan service.
No, I know it is, bro, but I'm giving the people what they want.
Right.
And then Goku looks at him and he's like,
just
Goku looks at him. Goku, no, this is gonna be for you. This next line's for you. Goku looks at Gohan and goes, the joke's on her. She makes more money than me. If we get divorced, I get her money. That's what Goku says to Gohan, bro. Very in character. And then Bulma says, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard you say. Oh, and then Vegeta goes, what's this thing, divorce? And then Bulma's like, don't tell him. And then that's it, bro. No, that's it. We're gonna blend Toriyama humor with my humor, bro. That's the real fusion bug. All right, memes of destruction. We gotta get out of here shortly. Hi, friends. Deep Theory Craft. Great. This is what we're here for. There were 4 third eyes. One ended up in Marba's magic soup, Majin soup. Bada boom, bada bing boo. Thoughts. That would be kind of cool if she used the third eye to like create some really powerful. That's not a bad idea.
Like
that's Daima season 3. That's Daima season 3.
No,
bro.
but he's saying that one of the third eyes ended up creating a much stronger Boo. Like that's the original.
Or the original Boo.
I think that's what he's saying.
I like that. What do you think about that?
I like that a lot actually, because they're like, I know that it's not the same type of thing, but they just created Ku and Do, and they're nothing like Majin Buu, right? So they're part of the same DNA, but for whatever reason, the person who created
Buu is more like him, but not.
Yeah, but like the person who created Majin Buu can't recreate it. I know it's been like since time immemorial. Like it's like the very beginning of the universe.
I'm so mad, bro. After this stream, I want them to actually do these things. I'm so mad, dude. Can you imagine how happy Dragon Ball fans would be with something? And something else too about like our little, we joke around, but the ideas could be done. is having Gohan sort of be like the nerd, and then having both Piccolo and Goku there as kind of his mentors. That could lead to some really good moments between maybe the two of them sharing some of that knowledge as well. Like there's a lot of potential conversations with Gohan going with them this time. You know what I mean?
I mean, obviously, just having Gohan in any context is better than nothing.
Sleep, I'm going to call you out right now. This man said, I honestly miss when DB fights were 5 hours long. Your first super chat, you said that you preferred the manga version of the Frieza saga. Liar, liar, pants on fire, Sleep.
Well, you said that everyone has a problem with the pacing for the anime fight with Frieza.
Not everyone, but some do.
Yeah, like you were saying, like nobody really cares about Cell or Boo or anything else.
Well, they don't complain about Cell and Saiyan Saga.
Oh, they certainly don't.
People complain about the Frieza fight being too long in the anime.
It's too long.
And you know what it is? It's not so much the fight itself, Mark, because I was thinking about this a few months ago. It's the fact they keep cutting away to Bulma and Captain Ginyu, bro. That whole subplot, bro, is, oh my God. You remember that in the Z version?
Yeah, but at least they brought it back in Super. And
well, the funniest part, which was lost on kids in the 90s, is in the Japanese version, Captain Ginyu, when he gets Bulma's body, starts going like this, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody know. Well, I noticed it, but what I'm talking about. He's like,
he's like,
yeah, bro. That if you don't believe me, y'all, go back and watch Dragon Ball Z. And you will find it. Go to the scene where Captain Ginyu takes Bulma's body. I promise you'll see that, bro. Me and my friends used to joke about it. Angel says, in Daima Season 2, we got to squeeze in Gohan and Videl making Pan. Bro, I just told you. Guys, y'all need to go back to school. Women don't get pregnant for more than 2 years, bro. Typically, a baby's born within 9 months. Even a late-term baby doesn't go past like 9.5. Do you understand? If you want me to, if you're gonna sit there and be like, yeah, but it's a Saiyan baby. Oh, so Saiyans come out later? I don't think it works that way, bro. She still has a human uterus. Like y'all, why do people want Pan to knock up Videl and Daima Gohan to knock up Videl and Daima if Pan's not gonna give birth for over 2 years?
Right.
Like, damn, man.
She's not even going to be able to announce her pregnancy for 2 years.
Thank you. I'm not going to make fun of them and call them virgins, but even before I got laid, I knew how it worked, guys. Even before I had my first piece of poontang, I knew that women don't get pregnant for over 2 years, bro.
They're not.
Now, Gohan might be practicing with Videl, but he hasn't quite hit the target just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Havoc burying them, bro. I was not saying that about them. I was not. Even before I got laid, I knew how it worked. In 4th grade, bro, true story. I'll never forget this, Mark. True story. We're going to get out of here in a minute. They separated all the boys into one class and all the girls in the other for it was like early sex ed.
Oh, yeah. I remember this type of
This happened to you? Yeah. And so the girls were with the 2 female teachers and 2 of the male teachers were in our fucking classroom. And he wrote erection on the wall and everybody started giggling. That was the first thing he wrote, erection.
Yeah, people started giggling. They have to. I remember that they have to separate the boys to explain that stuff, and they have to separate the girls to explain.
Yeah, but what's stupid is they should have switched sides so we can get both sides of it. You know what I mean?
So there's more understanding, but school systems in the United States, man,
there's more understanding. Yeah, because God forbid you communicate with your partner. Fuck that.
I mean, I'm from Texas. They did an abstinence thing for us. Not the topic here, obviously.
Let me get somebody, bro. Let me get somebody. Man, Danny, you gotta stop with the clickbait stuff, man. The title's misleading. Okay. Let's look at something. No. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something right here. I'm gonna show you a little something right here, my friend. Let me show you, my friend, about my clickbait. Let's take a look at my clickbait. Let's see here. Okay. So the stream is called Dragon Ball Daima Season 2 Story and More, right? Oh, that's clickbait. Dragon Ball Daima wrapped up last week with many unanswered questions. Today, I'm joined by Mark from Real KRW Network to discuss the potential Dragon Ball Daima Season 2 story that can give us 20 more episodes, a new villain, a new story, including Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Gohan, and Daima, and more. Should be a great time.
I will say,
it's in the description.
The what I'll say is
everyone's a clickbaiter. By your logic, everyone clickbaits.
Well, the thing is like YouTube video titles are the exact same thing as like a newspaper headline or something. You need to grab people, but as long as you're upfront, I think as long as you're upfront and you're talking about what you're saying you're going to be talking about, then it's not. I mean, people have different opinions on this. I got into a long comment discussion with this. I think a child. I honestly think a child.
It's usually a child
who was so erratic about like, oh, clickbait. You don't know anything about this, that, and the other. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
If you've been watching my content, if Dragon Ball Daima Season 2 gets announced, here's the title: Breaking News. Huge news. Dragon Ball Daima Season 2 official. Do I not always write news, huge news, breaking news? Do I not always do that?
Yeah.
And write the word official?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, Havoc says, just kidding to the chat, of course. No, I know you were, bro. I know you were, but it's funny to me. It's funny to me. No, but look, we're going to get out of here. I had a great time. Mm-hmm. I like your idea about a post Daima return to the demon realm. It's a good time. Oh God, this guy. Hold on. Sleep says, sorry, I meant manga pacing, not anime. Okay. Yeah, but you also said you missed the 5-hour episodes. You're contradicting yourself. Or maybe I'm confused. I don't know. But the point is, if you came in late, go back and check out our pitches. Yeah. Mark goes through his, I go through mine. And we just kind of like, his is more like a return to the demon realm. Mine is, how can we do a second season to maybe somewhat answer the unanswered questions and tie into Super? Not everything's tied in. We're not going to have a mid-credit scene with fucking Moro. We're not going to have Neba saying, I trained a goat man once. We're not doing any of that stupid shit. We're just closing it out so that people are happy.
I wouldn't mind the I trained a goat man once thing.
Well, the line... Would you rather I trained a goat man once or Vidal's pregnant 2 years too soon, bro? Like half.
Why not both?
I just can't believe that there were multiple people saying that Vidal should be pregnant 2 years before she ends up announcing her pregnancy. Like,
I just think they're very excited about Gohan's sex life.
Well, who isn't really? I know one guy who is. I might bring him on the stream someday. Anyways, y'all, I had a great time. I do have some pretty good videos coming up. I actually have a video. I want to announce it here. I did a video. It's not edited yet, so it might be a couple weeks, and it's called Thank You So Much, Lord Vito, for the kind words. I appreciate it. The video, I'm just going to leave this up for the rest of the stream. So, no, it's called Did Goma Kill Jiren's Parents? There are clues that either Goma or somebody related to Goma may have done it. I went back and I started digging through Dragon Ball Super, digging through Dragon Ball, the manga Super and the anime. I started looking through I'm like Gandalf looking through the old texts, right? Or like Majin Ku going through the old sacred texts, the sacred Jedi texts, to give you a nice little summary of why it's possible that Goma actually did kill Jiren's master and his parents. So that's coming up. So, anyways, thank you so much, Mark, for being here. It means a lot to me, seriously.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Always
tell your wife that I personally will thank her, and maybe I will see you in person in a couple months if I get the deals worked out.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know, and I'll look into.
Absolutely, we gotta go. Yeah. We gotta go to Texas Day, Brazil, brother.
Yes.
Save up.
Okay.
Save up, because we're gonna have a good time. Have you ever been to Texas Day, Brazil?
No.
Really?
No.
I gotta tell you about it. Maybe off air.
Okay.
All right, y'all look up Texas Day, Brazil in case you don't know what it is, and you'll know what it is. Anyways, man, that you're only saying that because they have similar outfits. I didn't know you had access to my video. Oh man, glad you summarized about 25 seconds of a fucking 10-minute video, bro. Maybe there's more than that. Maybe I did the video for a reason. Anyways, you'll find out when it comes out. Take care. Have a great one. As I always say, take care of yourself and each other.